Hey guys, welcome to another video. It's so good to be back, especially with these boxes sitting here. Today we got a real special video. Nez is getting some very much deserved and needed mods for her. It's been a while. I'm really happy to be back. So let's skip all that. Got a new job. It's been chaos. I haven't had time to make any videos. Hopefully got some stuff coming up in the pipeline here. But I finally got some mods for Nez, some big ones, some stuff I've always wanted, and got my dream coils. So today we are going to be installing BC Racing BR series coilovers, which are the standard, the base coilovers, if you will, from them. So they don't have Swift springs, they're not the race ones. She's not going to be a race car, but something that I can take to autocross if I want. So these are going to do fantastic. Sorry about my voice. I have bad allergies that are swelling my vocal cords a little bit. And I got some Ktuned rear camber arms for the rear, obviously. If you guys don't know, this is my 2009 Honda Civic Si FA5. You guys don't know, when you lower these cars, with just coils and you skip the camber arms, you end up cambering the back tires by quite a bit. The suspension geometry gets pretty screwed up, so it goes way too much and it's a bad time for your tires, for your handling, for your looks. So instead of taking them two pieces at a time, we're knocking two birds with one stone here, and I got some Ktuned camber arms and coilovers so we can knock them out in one foul swoop. And we're going to go get an alignment on Monday. It is Thursday right now. We're going to install them tomorrow. So hopefully we'll get that alignment dialed in, and then we can get some wheels for this thing. Very excited to do this. But before we install it, let's do some tests and show you guys how the stock suspension handles, and we'll do a before and an after comparison, showing you angles of roll on the stock car and angles of roll with the suspension. We'll also do a front face slalom test so you can see how much the car rolls, and this is going to be a really good test because we're not doing any roll bars. So this car is completely stock. I think it might have a roll bar stock, but it's teeny tiny and it doesn't do much. So this is just going to be coilovers. So if you guys are looking to just do coilovers, this will be a good representation so you guys know how much it helps and if you need a roll bar as well. So even if this thing doesn't go down on the degrees of roll, which it should feel a lot better. So I guess we'll see, doing some science, see if it actually helps with the degree of roll and how it feels. Again, these are BC Racing coilovers, some good coilovers. If you guys are looking to get them, they're about $1,100 to $1,200 for the set here. They are 6K front, 6K rear, so they are the stock setup. That is what you get with just the basic setups. With BC, they are fully rebuildable, and you can get different spring rates and different springs and all that stuff as well from their site. But again, this is not going to be the race car. The one back there is. So that one will be getting BCs as well if I like these, with some way higher spring rates for track driving with some Swift springs. But there we go. I think there should be pretty good coilovers. Let's see if they're going to be hard to install or not. They shouldn't be, but who knows what kind of bolts are on these things. They've definitely been there since '09. The suspension, the front right especially, is starting to blow a little bit because I don't take it easy on my cars in corners. So this is going to be a very nice mod. I'm very excited. Let's get to those tests, the install, and then let's see what we're going to be looking like rolling on these coilovers. I hope you guys enjoy. And these are the look of the camber arms. I won't show the other side because they look the exact same, but they are built very nice, a very solid metal some very stiff bushings because the ones on ours are definitely going to be blown out. So having these stiff bushings are going to be fantastic. Adjusting the camber with this right here that I'm going to have the alignment shop kind of figure out. We're going to go off of eyeball, but these are the camber arms. Ktuned makes some good ones. Megan Racing makes some good ones. And I think True Heart makes some good ones. But I went with Ktuned because they look the best. And I have good experience with Ktuned in the past. So here are the camber arms. Let's get to those beasts. Here we are on the rear here. This is what's going to adjust your rear height on the back. Just these because they are independent. Spring and strut are different on these cars. So we got the spring and the adjustment here. Really, really stiff. With the top hat piece. Because that one's going to be blown. Guaranteed. And here is the rear shock. Not much to look at. But here it is. Looks good. 06 through 11 Civic. Look at that. It looks super nice. And here we are on the front. We got 30 adjustment for soft and hard. We're going to put it probably 3/4 of the way. And camber adjustments for the front. We don't have it on the rear. That's why you need the camber arms. Looks fantastic. I've never bought coilovers like this. Let's go put them on. Alright guys, welcome back. Welcome to the drive on the stock suspension. If you guys have watched the videos, you know it's hard to transfer the data through video, so I have this. X is at 0 degrees right now, and whenever you turn, we just hit 14 degrees of roll. So then we will compare. Driving impressions on the stock suspension is squishy, and to be honest, it's not that bad. Let's see what we got going. 40, 17, 22. Ooh, we got 36 right there. 36 degrees of roll. So this suspension on these stock cars are okay. They're honestly better than I thought they would be. Better than most Civics, since it is an SI. They have stiffer suspension, but over the years they've gotten squishier, and they still aren't that good because it's still a commuter. It's still a daily car. So, you know, suspension isn't going to be race car quality. Obviously, 37 degrees of roll. 27 on the non-snap. Alright, let's try this again. At 40, 32. We got 32 degrees right there. That's pretty insane. That's a lot of roll. 16. Slow down to 40 again. 29. 35. 38 right there. That's a cambered corner, so it's going to do it a little more. So we got a high of 38 degrees of roll. I really want to know what, with the coils, what it's going to be. It might be the same. If it's the same, I'm going to be a little sad, but at the same time, if it makes it feel better and handle better, then it is what it is. Well, we're just doing a little science experiment, you know? Because again, we're not doing anti-roll bars, so maybe it won't do anything. It should, but you know how it is. 38, yeah, so 38 degrees of roll, and that is going about 40 on some tight corners. So that's what we're looking at. So let's see if we can beat 38 degrees of roll with the new coils. I'm really excited to see how that's gonna go. So let's go install those. For you, it'll seem like an instant. For me, it'll be tomorrow. So that's a bummer. All right, it is tomorrow now, thank goodness. And we are going to be doing the rear first because I know the least amount with this independent kind of stuff. The front should be easy since I've done a million of them. But as you can see, the difference is crazy. Like, this is a very long spring, and this piece here, the rubber piece that BC gave us, is shot. Like, I can see already. So nice. So we'll be doing the rear first, and when we get them in, we'll lower it and see how the tire, how much camber it gets, and then we'll be replacing the disgusting looking support here and put the camber arm in. So cool. So starting with the rear, to get to the rear struts, the top of the tower, you got to remove all these little clips in the trunk, which I'm surprised mine even has, because most of them are always just gone. One here, that one is missing, and then these, so you can pull back the carpet and you can get to the top of the rear shock. So when you pull apart this, there it is right there. You're going to want to use an Allen. We have a 5mm, a 14 and a 14 wrench or deep socket. You're going to want to put the Allen in the very top here, hold it while you loosen up the 14 bolt there, and that should loosen that up. This top hat piece right here, the rubber and the metal, you want to reuse on the BC, so don't lose it and keep it. After you got those off, it should be like that. A bolt here, and then you want to, or the nut, whatever. There is a bolt at the bottom of the strut right here. Take that out, loosen it up, take it out, and then the strut should be loose to be able to come out. And then it'll be getting this guy out. Awesome. Once you unbolt that with a 14, should be this. You don't need to hold the other side because it's welded on. You want to push it up, pull it out, and then down. And then this is what it should look like. Gross. And then make sure you come back here and you grab this guy out with some sort of device, because I can't grab it out myself, but make sure you reuse those. Here are the stock ones out next to the BCs. They're actually shorter, which I didn't expect because the spring's doing most of the heavy lifting there. Yeah, but these are shot. I didn't know they were so shot. Next up now is getting the spring out. So what we want to do is you're going to want to put a crowbar to where like the strut used to be, so you can kind of put some leverage down on this whole knuckle here so that you can get enough leverage off of the spring to just be able to twist it out. This part you want a friend. Like, you can do it alone, but it's a pain in the ass. So if you have someone be pushing it down while someone else tries to get the spring out, that's the way to go. Yeah, so let's go do that. Alright, got the springs out. As you can tell, there's a very big difference here. These are progressive springs. So you can see they start wider and they go skinnier. You can get a little more compact that way. These are our linear springs basically, so they're bad. And these are shot. So it's good that BC thought that, and they gave us more. So top and the bottom on them. So looks great. Next up, as you can see, there is no spring, no shock. So next up, we're going to be putting the spring in, adjusting the height to what we think, and then strut and camber arm here. So let's do that. So just so you do know, before you put the springs in, before the struts, make sure you do adjust the height of the springs before you put them in. For example, This one was a little bit higher than this one was, and you want them to be completely even, so make sure you do that. You just adjust them with these lock rings. The top one is the locker, and the bottom one is for adjusting. This whole piece comes out, so that's how you adjust that. No need to worry about the spring preload as you do with those ones, because the spring is separate, so make sure they're even. Now let's go put them in the back of thy car. Hey guys, so update, pain in the ass update. Camber arms, okay. They're a pain, and I'm not going to go through it on how to exactly do this part because it's a pain. I will say you want to loosen up this part, the middle, just the middle, because they come together. And once you loosen that up to where it either stops or gets to a certain point you want, then just do this one so you can push it out. What most people are doing online for some reason is they are getting the stock one here and they're measuring it, and they are measuring it to the exact specifications. For example, this was like 14.5 inches, like from end to end. So a lot of people are putting it at 14.5 inches, which seems useless because the whole purpose of this is to make sure the wheel isn't like this when looking at it. It's more straight. So we put it at 15, which might be too much, might be too little, we'll see. Either way, after doing coils and camber arms, you want to make sure you get your alignment, but you also want to make it better. So we did it a little bit longer, so it hopefully pushes the wheel straighter, because that's the whole reason we got camber arms. So it's going to be getting an alignment, but we want to make sure it's good so we can at least drive it for a little bit. We got stuff to do, so. Alright, so we're going to put the camber arm in. We did make a mistake by putting the spring in first. Kind of caused some problems, so we're going to be putting the camber arm in first, setting it up, and then bolting in the strut, because it's not bolted in, and then we'll be putting the spring in, and then that's when we'll jack up the hub here, tighten down the camber arm, and then put the spring in and tighten everything down. We'll be lowering the rear, looking at the camber, make sure it's okay, and looking at the height to make sure it's okay. So, update complete. A little bit more. See past this piece. One more. A little more. Okay. Alright boys, so we got the camber arm in at a certain degree, so it's kind of on some positive camber, because when we drop it, it'll go negative. Might have to do some adjustments on height and that. Got the strut in tight with the spring. It's looking really, really good with the top bolt on. With the new bolt that BC gave us with the rubber grommet from the stock car. Same thing on the other side. Now we are going to put on the wheel, drop it down, see what it looks like, and move on to the front, which should be easier. Hopefully. Okay, so we got the back done. It looks lower than it is. It is not this low, but it's tasteful. I think it's about a finger and a half, so it looks tastefully done. It looks great. We put the dampening on it and put it all the way hard. And the front is up next. This should go smoothly, hopefully. We gotta get rid of this crusty dude. Disgusting. So we need to get rid of that. So time to do the front. This should be a lot easier. It's something more my speed. And the camber back here looks actually like pretty decent. Better than it would. So alignment shop's gonna do the rest. Hey buddy.
Hey bud.
Alright, so we got the old ones out. If you guys don't know, it's pretty easy. There's just 2 bolts on the bottom there, and then 4 up here. You could do it without taking the whole cowl off. Just take this little cap out, and then this, and you get it out. It's kind of a pain, but you know, it is what it is. So these are shot. They're disgusting. We got our new ones here, and do the same thing, put them in. Alright, so a little update here is We've been doing a mini adjustment. We got it down up there. It looks a little low, but we did about 3 adjustments. With this, the best thing that we found, instead of turning this at like millimeters at a time, get some leverage in here under the sway bar and have someone push down, and it gets rid of some of the like the pressure, and then you could spin it freely by hand, and it gets it done a lot faster. Hey guys, welcome back, I guess. So I cheated a little bit. As you can see, it's the next day. Things went kind of crazy, but she's done and looks absolutely fantastic. I mean, really, really nice. So we're gonna go for a drive, and again, I cheated a little bit, and I did drive her yesterday. We went through a lot of problems, and nothing like bad, like nothing BC did, just our stupidity basically. I haven't installed coils in a long time, and we installed them, and as you can see, I showed the back and how to do it, and then we did the front, and I didn't really do much tutorial because I figured it's kind of self-explanatory. You know, you get the 2 bolts on the bottom, and then the 3 bolts on the top for the top hat, and like that's about it. But it's all about height, right? We had to adjust like 10 times, and that adds up pretty fast. We got pretty quick at it, but 10 times of adjusting, it adds up quite a bit. So it's whatever, it happens, but that's what happened. So if it looks like I went a little lazy, it's because of that. We had to adjust so many times. So we finally got it right. My advice to you guys is keep it at like stock height that it comes in the box and go from there. We went too low, and it was a disaster. And then we raised it, and it wasn't high enough, and then we went too high, and then the front was too low, and then the back was higher. Chaos. So I will have some tips, I will say, and I'll put a video in for the back. The back's really, really easy actually to adjust. So just make sure it's easiest just to take the entire top hat part out of the back spring and adjust it that way. So I show how, but you take out the bottom bolt on the strut, and you use a bar, and you just pry out the spring, and it's really, really easy, and it's the best way to do it. But we finally got her adjusted, so we're going to go take a drive, and we're going to do the degrees and see how much better it is, if at all, and how it rides, and all that stuff. And I will see you guys out here after all that's done. Let's go drive her. Hey guys, welcome back to the car with her new coils on. Again, sorry for my voice. It's like worse today. It sucks. Summer's in the air, which means I'm suffocating all the time, so that sucks. So let's do this. I got my degrees right here. See how it feels. Let's see if there's any rubbing. I bet there'll be some, but let's see. Oh my goodness. We got 24 right there. You guys remember we got 38 last time. 25. We're going faster. This feels so good. We're gonna get an alignment, but even it's not like pulling or anything. I'm impressed. Like, usually if you do it wrong, you know. No, it's like good. This feels so good. Oh my gosh. Stock to BC racing. 22 degrees. I'm gonna hold it because whenever it moves, it actually goes bigger. All right, here comes some cambered corners here. 25, 27. That was 31 right there in the most cambered corner. 27. 22. This is so good. This feels fantastic. Because if you guys have been following for a while, you know it's like I've done all the bolt-ons already. I've done the tune, I've done the stereo, I've done the shifter. So it's like I was really in need of some coils, you know, to help get this thing to handle, you know. I've gotten Toyos. I have Toyo Extensas for like my all seasons, which is a lot better than the cheap brand that I had previously. So the tires do pretty well, like for daily standards, you know, and hitting the back roads every once in a while. They don't heat up as fast as like cheap brand tires, like overheat. But this is the missing link, man. This feels fantastic. I can't wait to get some light wheels on this thing. It's going to feel absolutely fantastic. And they don't ride rough. Like, this is a pretty chill ride. I'm surprised, you know, it's quite shocking. Like, I've never had such stiff coils that don't hit bumps and make you want to like break your back in half. I would sound more enthusiastic right now because I am, but allergies. Still got some roll, of course, because I mean, mind you, this isn't like an EG. Like my EJ1 does not roll because it's lightweight coils, sticky tires. This is not as lightweight. It's 3,000 pounds. It's a lot heavier. It's more height to it, even though it's lowered. It's just a higher car. There's more dimension to it, so it does roll. I'm thinking let's get some sway bars on this thing and it's going to be absolutely fantastic. It already feels fantastic, but if we can just stiffen up that rear like way more and then get a small sway bar for the front, we're going to be great. In the slalom, and then I'll be talking about it afterwards. So here we are again, in the rain, getting rained on, with beautiful Nezzy behind us here, looking absolutely fantastic. I mean, absolutely. It's so much more aggressive, feels so much better. The driving portion did get cut down. We were having a technical difficulty from another car that was supposed to be behind me. So if it got cut off urgently, that's why. But I mean, look at that. So much better, you know? So much better. But I just want to say I'm not going to be doing the slalom test. Work's coming up. and I need to go get to do that. And I want to get this video edited and out there because you guys have been starving for videos. So I'm going to get that out there. Look at her, man. Looks so good. So that's what I'm going to be doing. They are fantastic. It does decrease the roll by like 10 degrees, if not more sometimes, most of the time. They are a pain to not really install, but getting them adjusted perfectly. If you get them adjusted perfectly, you're like the best person ever, and you probably won't be watching this video. But they're fantastic. Like, if you want coilovers for your 8th gen or your 9th gen, BCs are the way to go. They feel fantastic. The dampening is fantastic. I have driven about 200 miles on them now. Drove a lot today. And I have nothing but good things to say about them. They ride well, they take bumps well, but they are also stiff for corners. And just getting that more aggressive look. I can't fit my whole fist in the wheel well anymore. For example, I think I got, let's see, what do we have? One finger in the front. And we got one finger in the rear. So it's fantastic. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hit like, subscribe. I want to be making more videos. I do have a review for that beast coming very soon, so stay tuned for that. It's going to be a fun time. Thank you guys for sticking around. Thanks for the new subs. We hit 700 as of making this video here. It's been fantastic. So I will see you guys in the next video. Go get yourselves some coilovers.